Hello everyone, welcome to the Green Man channel, hope you're all good and well. So time for a Sunday album review, and this time I'm reviewing the 11th studio album from heavy metal / power metal band Jag Panzer and their latest release, The Hallowed, which came out on the Friday just gone, the 23rd of June via Atomic Fire Records, and the album is 10 tracks and 53 minutes in length. So this is a band that I was surprised that I've never heard of them, to be honest, because they have apparently been around for a long time, since about the early 1980s, 1981 I believe, which is almost as long as a lot of the classic heavy metal bands, longer than some of them actually, have been around. And they clearly draw influence from some of those new wave of heavy metal British bands, I would say, like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Angel Witch, all that sort of stuff. You could definitely hear that in this band's sound. Now, what I enjoyed hearing about, I watched Children on a Couch's interview with the rhythm guitarist Mark Briodi and learned about the concepts behind this album. There's actually, there was also a comic book that the band released last year, and this is sort of best paired up with that. I think this album has sort of been derived from the story of that comic book. So basically what's going on here, this is a sort of dystopian future, and it's being told through the eyes of different animals' perspectives, so each song represents a different animal. And I like that idea, I think that's great as well. It sort of made me think for a second that a little bit like the concept of the Haken album we've had recently as well. So yeah, I enjoyed this. It's just a really solid slice of heavy metal for me, of that old school sound. With a good range of rhythm work and lead guitar work throughout the album. There's not much of a moment in this album I ever become too bored. I just think it's just a solid bit of heavy metal. For anyone that enjoys this sort of subgenre, you're going to like this album, I think. So, yeah, let's move on now to the tracks on this one. So I'm going to talk about some of the tracks I really liked, actually, and one of them was Prey, which sort of has this motoring guitar rhythm to it that is, hard not to enjoy from the first listen. I like that one quite a bit. One of the kind of meaner riffs on the album. It's just a bit grittier. It's just kind of got a little bit of groove, and it's pretty memorable as well. Ties That Bind, I found that a really good song, and I thought that actually showed the vocal prowess of singer Harry Conklin here too. And I really liked that track quite a bit. Stronger Than You Know was one of the advanced singles on the album, and this is just one of those tracks that is memorable. It's catchy. I love the chorus, but I also like the way you have those kind of gliding high notes, kind of. And it's interesting. This song is apparently from an eagle's perspective, and it just sounds like it represents an eagle pretty well in the music too, so I do like that. That's pretty cool, a cool touch to this song. And yeah, a really good advanced single. Another good advanced single is the track that comes after that on the album, Onwards We Toil. And again, really good kind of Bruce Dickinson like chorus on this, where you get the kind of sort of type of vocal. Much better than that on the album, of course. And a track I liked, actually, perhaps this is my favourite on this release, which is Dark Descent, which has a good mix of rhythm changes, great lead guitar work, and one of my favourite parts of the album was this just amazing bit of shredding that fits the song really well too. And yeah, as a kind of a guitar nut, I really enjoyed that track, Dark Descent. I thought that was a really good song on the album. I also quite like Renewed Flame. Lots of Iron Maiden-like moments in that track with the dual guitar work and the guitars just complementing each other extremely well here. I also liked the last track, which is a bit proggier, although it kind of faded out quickly at the end as well, and there was sort of a bit of a, quite a long ending bit to the track for a couple of minutes. I enjoyed the instrumental part of the track though a lot, and I liked its doomy, more, there was a sense, just a little bit of a sense of Candlemass in that last track, so I quite liked that last track as an album closer as well. So that leaves me now with my overall thoughts on this album. So I guess, as a straight up heavy metal album, this is a really pretty good album. It's a really solid album. I quite liked the way that the band introduced a few different things in the later part of the album. And a part of me wondered, you know, where there was just some of the more straight up heavy metal stuff in the first half of the album, whether we could have seen a little bit more of that in the earlier portion of the album, perhaps for me. But that's my kind of taste, so it's a little bit more of where I'm coming from, probably as a lover of that slightly more progressive edged music. But this is just solid. It's just really solid. I think I'm between a 7 and 8 here, a 7 and an 8. So I'm going to give this album the final score of a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you thought of this latest Jag Panzer album. Which of their other albums do you recommend I check out? Because this has done enough to stoke my curiosity in this band and to kind of think, yeah, I think I need to listen to a bit more of these guys to appreciate the full extent of what they've done maybe in the past as well. So thanks as ever for watching this album review. Until the next time, take care everybody, and bye for now.